Any other questions about this course combination, whatever we call it? Not, we have a course name change proposal coming.
Good evening. Yes, this is relatively straightforward here in terms of our recently redesigned curriculum that we took part in last year with the Social Studies Department. So to more accurately reflect what's happening in our classes and to support that redesigned curriculum, I'm proposing several name changes to our current courses in grades 6 through 12.
Tell us what the names were.
Grade 6 remains the same. Grade 7,
What was grade 6? I'm sorry.
the ancient world.
Oh, that's the same?
Right, that stays the same. Grade 7 was just world geography. Grade 7 is now world geography and culture. We want to add the cultural piece. We'll be presenting an update of our curriculum materials and some resources in the future, and that involves more of the cultural piece as well. Grade 8, Foundations of America, again, similar idea, Foundations of the United States, just in terms of we reworked some of the, when that course starts and what kind of foundations we set there, so we changed that a little bit. Grade 9 was 19th century American history, so we changed that to early American, and that goes along with our 10th grade course, which was 20th century, but of course we're 17 years now in the 21st century, and so we made that modern American history for 10th grade. Our 11th grade was called World Cultures. It's really more of a world history course in terms of what we're looking at, and so we do have the cultural piece as well, so we wanted to update that. And then of course our 12th grade course was called Political Science, and we just wanted to make that more apparent to the students and parents of what was happening there, both looking at American government and also citizenship, which we mentioned is so important, especially in today's world, in terms of students understanding the importance of that. So we wanted to change that name as well.
Any other questions about these name changes? No?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Tech Ed, first proposal has to do with residential to architecture 1. Mr. Andrew.
Well, about 8 years ago, the architectural program, the first level was a full year class. And then some of our courses we changed to a semester class. And we found out that by going to the semester class, a lot of the things we had to go 100 miles an hour through, basically just to get through them. This thing on?
Yeah, when the red light's on. Now it's off.
It's on now?
Now it's off.
No, now we're on. Sorry about that. So what we're trying to do is to basically slow it down so the students can take the information and transfer that to knowledge. And then the end result will be that when we get to the other classes, the green architecture and also the commercial architecture, they'll have a better foundation for that. Some of the end results I think that you'll see at the Arts Festival when you go there, the type of models and the drawings and things, they should be a little more elaborate because they'll have more time to spend on that. Any questions?
Questions on this proposal? No? Okay, then, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So you're changing this, it's a semester, or with 2 semester classes becoming 1?
No, it's currently a semester class, and that semester class will become a full year class.
Okay, that was my question.
The advanced classes would continue to be a semester class.
And is this open to 9th graders?
No, it starts in 10th grade.
Starts in 10th.
We do have other CAD classes that are
Okay, it does
available.
say 10 to 12. And you don't think it'll drop the enrollment?
No.
Because most of the kids who took this as a semester, what did they normally take for their other half of the year?
So then the second semester, a lot of times they'll take the green architecture or the commercial
Oh, they
architecture.
took one of the other
Yeah.
ones, yeah.
So
So they were
sort of-
taking that anyway, so this will just, okay.
I mean, basically, we're looking for a better foundation for them.
So you said it was a full year course? and
About
then
8 years
it was
ago.
a semester course, and now you're going back to a full
Yep.
year course? And then it says that the laser is $16,000. Is that not something that you already have for the semester course?
No, we don't have any in the drawing program.
So I guess what is changing that you need the laser now that you didn't need it when it was a semester course or before when it was a full year course?
A lot of this stuff has to do with the middle school, and what's happening in the middle school, and then those students coming up to the high school, and they're going to have all this technology that they know about, and we need to provide opportunities for them to use them. My hope is that with the laser in that program, we would use it for the models that they produce. When they do the rockets, things like the fins on them, they could be cut on the laser versus cut out by cardboard and that kind of stuff. So we're basically trying to take the knowledge that they have in middle school and then continue it through.
So what you're saying is the middle school has kind of made what you're currently doing obsolete, and now you need to expand on that. Is that basically what you're saying?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay, and in order to do that, you need a laser because the other ones,
Because the students are going to come in with the knowledge already. So if they have the knowledge in the middle school, we have to give them opportunities in the high school, or they're going to forget how to use it.
so this is one of the tools they're already using in the
In
middle
the middle
school,
school,
so
yeah.
you're saying you need to include that tool
Mhm.
at the high school?
Correct.
That's what you're saying, okay.
Are you, sorry. Will it be used in other classes as well, this laser?
That's my question.
Primarily just the drawing classes, this one. The drawing classes and also the intro class, the 9th grade intro class.
The 9th grade intro, this one, and then
So it
will
would be
used?
in all the CAD classes, the intro to technology class, which is called design engineering, and then also the green architecture and also the commercial architecture.
And obviously depending on the schedule, right? Well, it's going to be.
They're all in
one
that
room.
same
They're
room.
all in
All in
the
the
same
same
room?
room, yeah.
Okay, so all the classes will be
Correct,
able to use
yep.
this? Okay.
So when you're rewriting the curriculum to change this to a full year course, but you're still offering the semester course for more accelerated students at the same time?
No, we're eliminating that.
Okay, I thought you were saying you were still offering that for students who are more accelerated.
No, the green architecture and the commercial architecture will remain a semester class.
But the prerequisite, sorry, I'm Bob Miller. The prerequisite for both of those classes would be the Architecture 1 class. So every student interested in architecture would take Architecture 1. Then they could choose to take the green architecture or commercial the next year.
Okay, let's move on to acoustic guitar building 2.
All right, acoustic guitar too. First of all, I want to thank the board and also administration for all the help that we've gotten in this class. Basically 2 years ago, I was here with the proposal for that, and it's unbelievable the ride that we've had with it. The very first, when we were running as a club, the very first club that we had, at the end, a student came up to me and said, next year can we build acoustic guitars? And at the time, I'm like, whoa, wait a second, let's get through this. But basically, things have progressed from one thing to another. And again, we're trying to get the information to gain the first level and build upon it to doing the acoustic guitars. Currently, we have a dry run where we're going through with 6 students next semester. Some of them we're already starting on cutting some materials and doing that kind of stuff. But I think that the value that I see it in that the teacher in the class, Mr. Peitzman, will have other students in there that the first level students can go to for help because they've done a lot of it before. And then you can also see, I mean, my feeling is that the guitar program basically affects every part of the curriculum. And today we heard some of that by the music department. Whoever would have thought that the music department would be proposing an acoustic guitar playing class? But Mr. Mouser and I have been talking for a couple of years about this. So, it's just one of those things that keeps building and building, and it's really been unbelievable for Pennridge.
You said you have 6 students working on it now. Are they doing that after school? Or
No, in the regular guitar class, they're fit in with those students,
Oh, okay.
which would be the same way.
So they signed up for the other, like the regular guitar class, but they're
No,
doing a
well-
different project?
They signed up for the acoustic guitar too, because we're doing the dry run.
Oh, so it's a class that was only offered to certain students as a pilot?
Correct. So those students, you have to have the first level class before you get to the second.
Right, okay.
So CNC for $4,500, and the laser, the biggest laser is $25,000. Is that not, you're not using these aren't tools you already have?
Currently, in my lab is a laser. The other labs, they don't have lasers. So what we need to do, again, this will be used in 5 different classes in that lab. The guitar classes plus the other woodworking classes in the lab, which is downstairs.
So this is a second one that you're getting because you need it for multiple classes that
Correct,
work at the same time?
correct.
And it's not something where you can run all, you have enough of these classes that you can't run them, sequentially? You have to have them at the same time?
Yeah, it should be.
It should be, or is it possible to run them all in the same?
Yeah, it'd be pretty
or the same
difficult.
laser?
I mean, if you want the students to operate the machinery and become able to do it, it needs to be available. To go one place to another, they have to learn the software, deal with that. And if they're going to one classroom or another classroom, it's going to create problems.
Well, I'm just saying, couldn't you schedule them all in that classroom if they're using this tool, as opposed to scheduling them in the other classroom?
It's a different lab. So where the guitar building is, it's in one lab downstairs. Also in that lab, we have woodworking classes in there. Those woodworking classes will also be using the laser, along with the guitar building. So it's not like just the guitar building classes will be using that.
So that's one location, or two? I'm confused. I thought you
That's
said-
one location downstairs. My lab's upstairs, and I have one in there.
Are you saying that at the same time that you might be having people doing the guitar building downstairs, or
Mhm.
others, then upstairs could be running the other
There would be a
class?
different class, the
Right.
wood technology class, or advanced woodworking, or something else to be in that classroom at the same time.
At the same time, okay, I think that's what. And is this Corel Draw license, is that yearly?
No,
It's
that's
forever?
once and done, yeah, for 50 seats.
So I guess part of what I was trying to figure out is if you needed, it's not that you need a different tool for this different guitar classes, that you're getting more of these, you need a second tool.
Yeah, it's
because
basically
usage
because of the middle
of
school coming up, and also then being able to do different things with it.
You had also talked about when we went to visit
Northampton?
Northampton, that there's a certification that they can get, but they don't get it here.
Yeah, they have a luthier certification, I believe it's 6 classes that they have to take.
So I guess, in the discussion that I had with you then, I was a little confused. I think you were saying they're pretty much learning that here, but they can't get that certification. Is there a way that we
As
can
far
get that
as-
certification? while
We don't have, with the 6 classes, 2 of our classes are of the 6. The other 4 we do not have. So the first level, they have a ukulele, they have an electric guitar, so one of them would qualify for the first one, then they have acoustic guitar. So realistically, our 2 classes are the same as their 2 up there, but then they have other ones upon that to get that certification.
So do ours count?
I don't
They have to
know,
retake
I mean, I think if we bent some fingers, we could probably get that to work. I mean, they do work with us, they do help us out with a lot, and I'm sure that we could develop some type of a partnership.
They won't be able to make their guitars if you bend their fingers.
You can bend mine all you want, I don't play.
Any other questions on this subject? If not, we'll move to the third ticket proposal.
All right, woodworking 4. Number of years ago, we were told that we needed to increase, this is throughout the entire high school, that we needed to increase the number of courses that are available for freshmen. So we looked at our program and we saw what we thought the freshmen could fit into. And it's kind of a rough situation when you start looking at some of these classes and what you want from them. So what we did was we allowed students to take the wood technology, the first level class, as a 9th grader instead of taking it as a 10th grader. So before that, the student would take a semester class of materials, and then in 10th grade, they would take wood technology. So we added that as one of the elective, or one of the classes that the students could take in ninth grade. Now, the first group of students that were in ninth grade are going to be in 12th grade next year. So we basically need a slot for them to put them somewhere for that fourth level. So when we're looking at that class, things kind of change a little bit as far as what it is that I wanted to do. One, because of Northampton Community College and what they look at. And the second thing is what's going on in Millersville. And the trends kind of tend to be towards the CNC with what's going on with that. And being able to set up the CNC and run something on the CNC. So that's kind of where our philosophy is. So what we want to do is have a student go and learn some mass production techniques and do something on the CNC. So it could be something like legs for a table, where they go set up some type of a program, and with this program they're able to run legs on the CNC, and then they go and make their table from. But we're trying again to build some of those skills up from the middle school up in the high school, and one of the benefits then will be some of the lower level classes, the artistic woodworking and advanced woodworking. Those students would also have an opportunity to see what's happening, and most likely they'd be able to use it also.
One person could be working on the CNC at a time. Would they just be kind of rotating, like having different time to work on it, or?
Yeah. Well, they can be doing the computer work separate from it and then running it separately. But at one time a student would be using that. Now, it might be something that they do for a week. It might be something they do for 3 weeks, depending upon what type of project that they have. The project that they run in Millersville is they give the students a plan. And what they have to do then is they have to redesign that plan, and then that plan needs to be done on the CNC. So that's kind of our hope of what we want to do, something like that.
So I'm just wondering, what's the limit? Is there a limit to the number of students, and if they can't, only one person can be doing their project at a time on the CNC? So,
Yeah, but you should be able to work it out, or the other students that are in that level can be working on other things.
Okay.
It's not like they're sitting there waiting, doing nothing.
Right. Okay.
And then most likely those students would also be in there with the second and third level students. So I'm anticipating, like 3 or 4 students in a class at a time, not like 20 of them in there.
So this is, you're looking at a CNC, this one's $20,000. Is this one, you don't have this, what is different?
All right.
Why
All right,
is
if you
this
want to
one
get technical
necessary?
on me now. So currently, the usual CNC is a 3-axis CNC. This one is a 5-axis CNC. So what the 5th axis is they take the object and then they rotate the object, and they cut it while it's rotating. So that's the difference between that and, say, what the guitar building CNC is.
Okay, and if I'm understanding you, it sounds like the whole purpose of this course is for them to learn how to use this tool? Is that the whole purpose of this course? To learn how to use the CNC?
That's one of them. That's only part of it. It's not like, the entire class is going to be spent on this. I want them to learn this because of the opportunities out there in industry. I had a phone call this summer from one of the former students here who's working at a place locally, and he's a CNC operator. And he's like, hey, send me people. I need help. Who can you send me? So I'm thinking, what can I do type of thing.
Anything else on this subject? No, if not, these are, I believe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Endicott.
Thank you.
This is the summation of all the high school proposals for program improvement, and they fit under your budget, as I understand it, and they will come before the board for approval with the stipulation, as always, that the money is available to actually implement. Correct?
Correct. Thank you. Yes, these are all high school. We needed to make sure that we presented anything for the program studies for the high school now, so they can be board approved hopefully, and then be part of the program studies. So any middle school or elementary proposals will be presented after this meeting, at the next curriculum.
Right. Okay, so then that leads us to item T on the agenda, which is the data review on the,
I just have one other question.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry, is there a total amount for those? I mean, because
Yes,
they're all in separate
approximately
tabs.
yes, they are. It's approximately 150,000 for what we, for the high school.
Okay.
All right, okay, when I put them all together for the motions, I'll give you the tally.
Okay, all right, thank you.
And Mr. Andrew, could you just stay for at least the first part of the day's data presentation? Thank you.